everyone, it's Gina from orchidandopal.com, and I'm back today with the Beads of the Month clubs that I received for June 2021. So I have a double hot and trendy Beads of the Month club this time. I have a single 2-hole Beads of the Month club. I also have their Findings Companion Pack add-on that is optional. And the reason the hot and trendy is double this month is because I also signed up for their double rotating Beads of the Month club. And since I get that and the hot and trendy normally in the single version every month, this month is an overlap, so I have twice the beads in that one this time around. They have all different types of subscriptions and different sizes, so I encourage you to check out their website. I will leave that down below, and I have a coupon code. It's Opal10. If you'd like to save 10% off the first month of your first subscription, you're welcome to sign up for more than one, and you're also welcome to add on the Findings Companion Pack, which we will look at the end of the video if you'd like some high quality findings to go along with your beads. So to kick it off, let's go ahead and open up the double hot and trendy, which looks like the theme is called Mermaid Elegance, maybe getting some teals and some purples in this one. We'll do our little flip over. Gorgeous. Yep, we've got some turquoise and purple and silver to take a look at in all different fun shapes. We've got 8 different containers of beads as usual. And if you signed up for the single hot and trendy or single rotating Beads of the Month club and you got this one, you'd get 8 containers still of color coordinated beads. It would just be half the quantities that you see here. If you're on the same rotation as me, you may have also received the Mermaid Elegance theme, or you may receive a different theme just depending on the stock that they have. But every package that you get will be coordinated around a specific color theme. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up, and then we'll take a closer look at all 8 containers one at a time. So with the Hot and Trendy Club, we're going to see all different types of beads. This is a great subscription to sign up for if you are more on the adventurous side, whether maybe you're open to working with multi-hole beads, not just 2-hole, but possibly even 3-hole. Also single-hole beads, and really just a surprise of all different types of things you could get in this one. So we're going to start out first with the container, which is holding our Vega on Chalk Arcos Parpuca beads. We've got 14 grams inside, a lot to work with there with that beautiful purple and lustrous finish that these have. So here you can see some of them in my hand. This is one of my favorite colors and finishes. I love that Vega on Chalk in these check glass beads, and these are very glossy, have just a hint of a golden luster over the top. You can see that arc-like shape. If you put them together, they make more of a circle. You can put a little Minos Parpuca in the center or a little pearl. And as you can see, they have 3 holes that run through these beads. Next, we have a nice little surprise. These are the Chalk Purple Luster Delos Parpuca beads. These are brand new, actually, this shape. So I'm very excited that these have popped up in this subscription. Very appropriate for a hot and trendy sub box, since these are definitely a more adventurous and a newer bead in the Parpuca line. You can see that kind of crown-like shape, and they have 3 holes as well. And here's a closer look. These have that purplish tone too, but they have a little bit more pink in them than that first selection. They also have that glossy goldeny luster over the top. And there you can see the 3 holes that run down the bead, 1 hole on either side, and then 1 goes through the middle. They work really well with the Arcos beads. You can see how those fit very well together. So that's handy that they put these in the same collection together this month. And if you stay tuned to the end of this subscription unboxing, I'm going to show you a finished piece that I'm going to be coming back to do a tutorial on next week, which is something I like to do in the double rotating club and the hot and trendy club overlap in my subscriptions. So we'll get to that in just a couple minutes. But moving on to our third container, we have some turquoise green octos. This is a large container of the octo beads, another 3-hole shape. So we have 3 3-hole shapes so far to work with, which comes in handy. That means they will work pretty well together usually if you were to want to put some things together directly from the subscription package. And let's take a closer look. So here you can see these opaque turquoise beads. They have that slightly octagonal shape. They're not quite round. You can see they have the edges and the 3 holes that run parallel through the side of the beads. Also bringing in another color to go with some of our shades of purple. And then next we have the turquoise green Super Uno. So these are just like the Super Duo beads, but they have 1 hole instead of 2, so that's done on purpose. And they're also in that same greenish turquoise color as the Octo beads. Here's a closer look at these. You can see the 1 hole instead of 2. It's closed off where that second hole normally would be located. And these are great for when you have a design where you might have a super duo that would be sticking out on the edges of your bead weaving. And instead of leaving an open hole, these don't have that second hole, so they give you more of a finished off look. They make for a good drop-like shape due to the fact that they have a hole that is at the top and then leave that additional portion hanging down. Here is container number 5, bringing both of those colors together really. These are the turquoise green laser wing daggers. There's 40 pieces inside. Those look stunning. Aren't these beautiful? So we have a very deep grayish purple tone in the background, and then that pop of turquoise that's filling in that laser etched wing-like design. We also have a slightly golden luster that is coated over the top of the colors. And you can see with these beads, they have that hole that is drilled at the top, and they of course hang down. You can combine lots of these to make a full flower with petals around the edges. You can turn these into an actual beaded dragonfly, use them for fringe, all sorts of things as well. But I love the fact that these are pulling in this whole color combination together. Next up, we have some crystal aluminum Ava beads. So bringing in some silver to complement the purples and the turquoise. There's 20 pieces inside. And there's that handful. They had these well protected with some bubble wrap at the top of the container because these are a little bit more fragile in shipping, but these are all in good shape. It looks like we've got a hole that runs through the top of that A and then 2 holes that run through either leg is what I'll call that. So another very unique and adventurous shape for us in a gorgeous kind of more matte aluminum silver tone. And then container number 7 has the crystal etched aluminum gecko beads, a ton of these inside. These are like a tiny little dagger-like shape, shorter as well. They come to a point and have the hole that's drilled at the top. And with this etched type of color combination, you have that extra texture in that silver finish, so not quite as smooth as those Ava beads that we just took a look at. And I like that extra texture and how these would be fun to layer in a design, all in good shape, and another metallic neutral to complement our theme. And the 8th container in this Hot and Trendy Club contains the opaque violet travertine table cut ovals. So table cut, we've got some of that purplish tone with the stone-like travertine finish that is settling into the center of the oval and also around the edges. These are a 1-hole bead, as you can see. And there's a few of those up close. You can see that flat and glossy purple tone, and there is a look at the hole. So something different than some of these multi-hole check glass shapes. We get a lot of different shapes and colors and styles of these table cut check glass beads in the subscription over time. So it's a great way to build up your stash. And that is everything for the Mermaid Elegance theme in the Hot and Trendy Club that I received this month. Everything in great quality, great colors, nice variety of different multi-hole and single-hole shapes, different sizes of items, and a lot to work with in this double club. And I'm happy to say I was able to put together a necklace using 5 of the shapes that you see here below. Now, this necklace is in a totally different colorway based on colors I had on hand. But here is a sneak peek of the necklace that I will be sharing. You can see this one includes the Delos parpukas as well as the Arcos, as well as the Octo beads, the Super Unos, and the Gecko beads all together. And all you'll need to add to this are some 15-0 and 11-0 seed beads, and it makes a full necklace that I have not finished on the ends, but I did play around with this, and it comes to a very beautiful curved shape. You'll have enough to make an entire necklace from the contents in the double hot and trendy Beads of the Month Club. And I have a bonus. I tried it in another colorway. This one right here, using all the same beads except that I substituted some of the Super Unos for mini daggers in this one, just because I only had one color of Super Unos, and those mini daggers work well together in this design as well. So I hope that that helps you have an idea of something that could be done directly from the contents that we received in the club this month, or if you have these particular beads in your stash or on hand. And like I said, I'll be sharing that tutorial next week, so stay tuned for that. All right, and next up we have the 2-hole Beads of the Month Club. This is the single edition, so you'd get twice as many beads if you signed up for the double. As the name suggests, this contains all different types of 2-hole beads. You'll get a wonderful selection over time if you like working with those types of 2-hole shapes. This is an example of some of the ones that you would get in this club, but that even changes all the time because there's just so many 2-hole shapes out there to work with. The theme this month is called Black Mamba, so let's do a flip over. Awesome, so we have a more monochromatic look, lots of wonderful neutrals and metallics, black and white and silver to go along with this theme. And as you can see, we also have 8 containers. So once again, I'm going to get organized and we'll take a look at all these contents one at a time. The first item on our list are the Jet Matte Super Cheops Parpuka beads, and there's 7 grams inside. You can see all those on the list, how much is inside of each container. Here's our matte black in this pyramid-like shape. It's been a little while since we've gotten some of these Super Cheops. So you can see they have the 2 holes that run parallel through the base of that little pyramid. Lots of fun, different shape to work with. Starting out with some of our black tone to go along with this theme. Our next selection contains the Samos Parpukas, also in the Jet Matte. So our matte black in this other shape, which is more oval-like, also has 2 holes that run parallel through the side of the base. And there's a closer look. I think these will be really sharp, especially with some of that brighter metallic silver combining these matte and more glossy finishes. I think adds for some fun depth to pieces. All said and done, I don't have any of these matte colors, so that works out well for me. And then next we have some Jet Argentic Full Storm Duo. So we have a fully coated silvery, kind of more nickel toned, glossy metallic Storm Duo 2-hole bead. Lots of those in here to work with. Even though this is the single club, they still give you a good amount to include in your projects. These have that interesting wavy-like shape that have a hole that runs through the narrow end of each side. Great to have a metallic like this. It'll go with so many different things. Next, these are a lot of fun. So we have some black and white laser cracked coins. There's 5 pieces inside. These are really, really neat. So they have that interesting laser etched design where you see some of that white coming through. They are a flat, rounded shape. You can see the 2 holes that run parallel through there. And they're large enough where you could use these as a focal. You could use one maybe as its own cabochon and bead around that. That would look really interesting. So these are another really unique item that we have that brings our color palette together, or lack thereof really. But I love black and white combinations. I think that is so classic. Our next container contains some of the bronze aluminum kite beads. So these are more of a lighter silver tone and more of a satiny finish. You can see the kite-like shape where one end is a little bit longer than the other, and you have a hole that runs parallel through each end. And there's a closer look at these. So I like the fact that even with the silvers, we're getting different tones of silver and different finishes. These are different from the Storm Duos. They're also different from the other silver ones we will take a look at soon, and in more of that brighter aluminum, not as glossy finish. Container number 6 is holding some white matte Rula beads. I haven't seen these in a little while. So these are like a little bar shape. You can see the 2 holes and they're in that matte white, so not very glossy. They have more of that frosted appearance. Another great 2-hole accent to add that will also go with lots of different things. So next we usually get a container of super duos, and this time we have the selection of black/white opaque duets. And I love the duets. They're so fun with one half being one color, one half being another. These have one side that are white, one side that are black, and they are in a glossy, typical check glass finish. And there's a closer look. You can see how fun these are, how they're half and half, and normally they would just be one solid color. So you can have fun with this particular design and achieve some interesting looks depending on how you use them, just due to the fact that they have a totally different color on one side than the other. And our final container is holding some silver plated nibbits. There's 6 grams inside. These are absolutely stunning. Wow, just look how gorgeous those are. That silver plated finish is beautiful. The nibbit shaped beads being more narrow on one end than the other. You can see those 2 holes there through the side. And like I was saying, they're just even in another type of silver finish than we've already seen with our other selections, which you can tell that they put a lot of thought into. Even though this is a more monochromatic theme, there's still a lot of interest here. So I think they did an awesome job once again on their 2-hole Beads of the Month Club, the Black Mamba theme. If you're somebody who knows you like to work with all sorts of different 2-hole check glass shapes, this would be a great subscription for you. I know those crazy shapes aren't for everybody, but I think that's one of the great features about the Beads of the Month clubs is that they not only have multiple different types of clubs depending on what you're into, but you also sign up for a club knowing exactly what you're going to get. So if you know you're into those, you sign up for that, you're probably not going to be disappointed. And every month the color scheme will change. In addition to your beads, you'll also get a link on the bottom of your invoice where you can download 3 free patterns each and every month that change, and a lot of times those are good for multi-hole shapes, such as some of the ones you've seen today, and they'll really help you build up your library of different beading patterns over time and things that you can refer back to if you are stumped as to what to do with some of these things. Now, lastly, we're going to take a look at the Findings Companion Pack that I received this month. This one is in antique gold, it looks like. Every month, the metallic finish will change, or the color of the components will change, but they all coordinate with each other for that particular month. So this time we are going to look at some antique gold. Flipping that over, here's a little sneak peek. And I will give you a closer look at each of these things one at a time. All right, so we're going to kick it off with a Tiara Cast Luna Moth Focal. That would be this one right here. Great quality Tiara Cast, so many details on this. It just feels like a good quality component to work with. Sometimes you can just feel the difference. You can see it's got different points where you can add your strands of beads or connect this onto your jewelry. Here's a look at the other side. It is double-sided and pretty thick too. We also have 2 pairs of lever back earrings with these crystals, which is a very nice touch. You can see it's got a loop at the bottom, but it adds that sparkly crystal right above that. These are lovely, something I don't have either with the crystals on the lever backs. They've also packed 2 of these focal drops with 3 loops, so you can use these in many different ways. Earrings, necklace connector. They've got the 3 loops on the bottom. There is a look at the back and lots of interesting details there on the front. They have also included 2 sets of toggle clasps with a twisted design. These are on the smaller side, being 11 millimeters, but I love that twisted detail. And just a little bit darker in tone than some of the other antique gold colors that we've seen, but would still coordinate just fine with these other materials if you wanted to use them together. And then these are something I'm very excited about. So we have 3 buttons. These are actual Swarovski crystal buttons. 3 of them included. I have one flipped over so you can see the look at the back and where that hole is located. They are cut beautifully, looking kind of like a 10 millimeter Rivoli. Those would be beautiful to use for a button clasp if you wanted to. And I love how they source all of these different findings that are of good quality. They're also unique things that I know I personally probably wouldn't have picked out myself, but add those finishing touches to your beadwork that can be really special. Even this next item, these are paddle head pins. They're 2-inch long, so instead of just being a basic head pin that has that flat bottom, or even one with the little ball on the bottom, these have that handmade hammered appearance. They are 21 gauge and you get a total of 8 of these in this package. And then you also get a little handful of some oval jump rings. These are 20 gauge, 6x4 millimeter. And even their jump rings are just a little bit more unique. The fact that they're giving you some in the oval-like shape as opposed to the much more common round shape. So that Findings companion pack could be a little bit different in color tone depending on their stock levels. Once again, everybody might get something slightly different, but that is the gist of what you would get if you choose to add that on for an additional cost of, I believe, around $11.95 per month. And it doesn't add any additional shipping charges to your existing bead subscription. So that is everything I received for the June 2021 Beads of the Month Club in the Hot and Trendy and 2-hole, as well as that Findings Companion Pack add-on. I hope you enjoyed taking a close-up look at these items to get an idea of the types of things that you might receive in these clubs. Once again, definitely check out their website to see all the different options that they have, as well as the playlist I have for Beads of the Month Club with lots of additional unboxings. And you can use the coupon code OPAL10 to save 10% off the first month of your first club if you'd like to try them out. And I hope you'll stay tuned for that future tutorial coming for the necklace design that incorporates 5 of those different shapes of beads from the Hot and Trendy Club this month. If you enjoyed this video, I hope you'll give it a big thumbs up, and definitely hit that subscribe button while you're here because I would love to have you back again. Feel free to leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think of these 2 clubs, this theme. If you are a subscriber to Beads of the Month Club, let us know your experience or anything else you'd like to say. I'll be back again real soon. Until next time, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And as always, happy beading.